So far in today's show, we've learned how to assess a roof's condition, seen that hail damage to a shingle isn't always visible to the naked eye, and learned what to look for when selecting the various products that comprise a shingled roof. Now let's learn more about the professional installation process and get some helpful advice for selecting a contractor, as we finish up today's show with Mark Egan from Ryan Roofing. Well, Mark, your workers just continue to amaze me how quickly they can install a roof. Each one of them's doing their own job. It really looks like a choreographed operation.
Yeah, we've been at it about 4 hours now. As you can see, our tear off is complete. We started with putting the drip edge on the sides of the roofs there, and that allows the shingles to lay over on top of those flat and lets the water drip off of those clean so it doesn't wick back underneath the fascia.
Okay, so the drip edge is another important integral aspect of the roofing process.
It is. If we didn't have some kind of a drip edge there, the water would wick back behind the shingles and get into the fascia, rot that out, and possibly get into the interior of their house.
Well, earlier I was talking to Kevin about the different components that make up a complete roof system. One of the most important was the ice and water shield, and I noticed when they did the complete tear off here, they didn't remove the old ice and water shield, in part because that was securely fastened to the sheathing. But the other thing I noticed is there's only one 3-foot strip of it.
Right, that didn't meet today's code for ice and water shield. There has to be 2 rows so that it goes 24 inches inside the exterior heated wall.
And on this home, I noticed you put more ice and water shield on the center part between the dormers. Why was that?
That was because of the porch here on the lower level. That's not heated, of course, but then we have the heated wall, so we have to go another 24 inches beyond that. And with the pitch, of course, that takes quite a bit of ice and water to get to that point.
Now, what about the actual installation of the shingles themselves? Are there special guidelines that you're following?
Yes, Stu. Owens Corning requires 5 nails per shingle on these shingles. Some manufacturers require 4, some 5, some 6, but these particular shingles, we have to put 5 nails per shingle in.
And Kevin mentioned to me that you're a preferred Owens Corning installer. Do you get specific training? Do you get a better end result, do you feel, for the homeowner?
Yeah, we feel it's very important for the homeowner to get a trained professional crew on their roof, and Owens Corning gives us the training that we need to make sure that this is installed properly, and it's going to last 30 years.
Any other benefits to being a preferred contractor?
The warranty with this company here is second to none. We can offer a 20-year non-prorated warranty on these shingles because we are a preferred contractor, which they wouldn't otherwise be entitled to.
Well, that's exactly what I'd be looking for if I was a homeowner. I'm sure a manufacturer wouldn't award you preferred contractor status if you didn't know what you were doing. Along the lines of selecting a contractor, what about licensing, insurance, and by insurance I mean workman's comp, liability? Are those important issues for the homeowner to tackle?
They're very important for the homeowner. You definitely want to have a contractor that is licensed, and they have ongoing retraining every year, and their insurance, liability, and you want to make sure that they also have workers' comp.
So there is continuing education for the roofing license?
Yes.
Okay, and then when it does get to the liability or workman's comp, I look at a job like this with a really steep roof, maybe that's a 10-12 or 12-12 pitch. If someone were to slip and fall, heaven forbid that would happen, but if you're the homeowner and you didn't have a contractor that had workman's comp, that would fall under the homeowner's insurance.
It would, and this is a 10-12 pitch, and it is dangerous. I don't go on those 10-12 pitches myself. I just don't trust myself up there. Every once in a while somebody does fall off a roof, and for the most part, they know how to fall. They know how to grab onto things as they're going down, but every once in a while somebody does get hurt, and you want to make sure that the company that you hire has liability insurance and workers' comp to protect the workers and to protect you.
And not only the company you hire, but what about if they're using a subcontracted crew? Do they need to have their own workman's comp?
They do have to have their own liability insurance and workers' comp, and I wouldn't just ask them, do you have it? I'd want to see the papers.
Well, that's some really good advice. Okay, Mark, so I'm a homeowner, I've done due diligence, I'm well educated, I have 4 estimates on my roof. Is there a way that I can ensure I'm selecting the right contractor for my situation?
Well, Stu, the old adage is toss out the high, toss out the low, and go with the middle. But I can't really say that's a good way to pick a contractor. You want to find somebody that's certainly licensed. You want to make sure that they're insured. You can ask your neighbors or friends that had roofs done, who did you use and were they good?
Now, when you get an estimate, are there different things I should be looking at, line items there that could separate, say make a $1,500 or $2,000 difference in a bid?
Yeah, you need to make sure that they're apples to apples, that we're putting on the same material, the same quality material. Like here, this is a quality shingle. We could put it on a much cheaper shingle, but that would have reflected a much lower price in the overall bid. I was on a roof the other day, and I gave a customer a real fair bid on a roof. He called me back and said another company was $1,500 cheaper than ours. And I said, well, that just wasn't possible to do that roof that cheap. So I went over to the homeowner's house, looked at the other guy's bid, and he was off by 4 squares under mine. and that would come to between $1,200 and $1,500.
Sure.
That covered the difference.
So again, be an educated consumer, know what you're looking at, and again, it sounds like checking references is extremely important.
I wouldn't hire somebody without references. We give all our customers a reference sheet, and they can call the numbers on there, and you ask them, was the job done on budget, was it done on time, and was it clean when you left? If you do see a red flag, go with it. Make sure that you follow that through. Don't just bypass that.
Well, I know a big concern with these homeowners was their beautiful landscape, but judging by the look of it so far, none of the plants have been harmed. They're going to be extremely pleased when this roof is done.
No, it's in really good shape, and we're really proud of the way the guys did this job.
Well, Mark, I really appreciate you coming on today's show and walking us through the professional roofing process.
Well, thank you, Stu. It's been my pleasure.
Now here are some key points to help summarize today's show. If you've experienced a hailstorm in your neighborhood, it's probably wise to have a professional roofing contractor inspect your roof for damage. Although some hail damage can be quite obvious, other times it's more subtle, and a trained eye knows what to look for. Either way, if left unchecked, it can lead to premature roof failure. When selecting products, be sure to look beyond the shingles and educate yourself on all the different components that make up a roof system. And finally, work with an experienced contractor with the manpower to complete the job in a timely fashion. Confirm they're licensed and insured. Make sure you understand the contract. And always check their references. Well, we're all out of time for this week's show. Hope you've enjoyed it. We'll see you again next time on today's Home Remodeling.